What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Stuntman Morning. Today you can see I'm looking at another knockoff figure, or bootleg, whatever you like to call them. A lot of people call them different things and have different opinions on it. But it's been, if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm no stranger to bootleg figures, but this is one that I thought it was worth taking a chance on. I read a lot of reviews and looked at a lot of pictures, and I just figured, fuck it, you know, I'd take a chance. I'm always one to, if I think a figure or a toy is cool, I'm going to buy it. I don't care what anybody thinks, what they have to say. I've had the debates of the do's and don'ts about bootlegs and knockoffs, etc., etc. I'm just here to see if this figure is worth the value that it's, and for what I paid for, it's way overpriced than what it should be. But, you know, I wanted a Daredevil in my collection without having to pay $150 for a Mafex Daredevil, and this is the next best thing, in my opinion. To me, this is perceivable, and it's really subjective of like the value that I find for it and how much I was willing to pay to have a Daredevil in my collection. But the one thing I wanted to go ahead and get off the start, just right off the bat, is that this is a 7-inch figure. I think it's mainly based off of a NECA, older NECA figure mold, if I'm not mistaken, with some slight tweaks and differences. I'm not 100% sure. But this is a 7-inch figure, so it is not going to scale well with your 1/12 6-inch scale Marvel Legends and like in any other like Black Series or whatever. So that is one unfortunate thing about this figure. However, I've just really been infatuated with Daredevil. Me and my brother liked him as a kid, and then I started catching up on the show when I moved into a city and I could actually start streaming and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I need a Daredevil in my collection. So the representation, the sculpt on this thing is absolutely gnarly, and the paint on it is actually very, very clean. For, you know, a lot of things with the bootlegs is the paint is awfully sloppy and the sculpt is slack, and the molds themselves are very not good quality and just overall just cheap plastic, you know. But having this thing in hand and playing and messing around with it, also with the bendable wires that you see here, which are just work very, very well, and you can pull off a lot of different poses and dynamicness with it and add a lot of flavor and sauce to this Daredevil. This Daredevil is going to pull a lot of the moves up that you want him to, and I will talk about the things that are annoying about it and that could be better for sure. But overall, if you're wanting a Daredevil in your collection, it's no secret what I paid for this. You can go on AliExpress and see what it's going for. I will say, just for advisor, I did pay under 80. Oh my god, you paid $80 for that? Are you fucking stupid? You know, I don't care what people have to say. This is something that I wanted to have, and it's hard to find any other kind of Daredevil for that same price unless you try to get that Marvel Legends Hydra Man pack with the Daredevil. And I just didn't really care. I don't really care much about Hydra Man, to be honest. I know he's a Spider-Man villain too, but I just wanted a Daredevil, you know. And for now, until I can get my hands or find a Mafex Daredevil, I think this is going to fill in a good spot. And I'm overall, man, let me tell you, I spent under 80 bucks for this. Like I said, it's not no secret. I'm not ashamed of it. I spent more than I wanted to, that's for sure. I'll be honest and open about that. I don't think that, I mean, you can see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, technically with the fists that are on the figure, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of hands, 2 alternate heads, even though this Matt Murdock sculpt is not really all that. I'll show you all that in just a moment too. But overall, man, there's a lot in this figure. I did get it shipped loose, so you get it a couple dollars cheaper from AliExpress. But I remember when this thing was like $55. And for what's here and the quality, I still think that's a little high, but it's a lot more, it's less painful for 55 bucks. But then it sold out, and I was really bummed out about it. And I was telling my wife, I was like, man, I wish I bought that figure, because I'd asked her numerous times, I was like, should I just do it? 55 is kind of high, should I do it? And then next thing you know, it sold out. So when I seen it go back up a couple months later, and I seen it was 75 or 70, whatever, I think I ended up getting it for like 70. And I was like, damn, I don't really want to spend that much, but god damn it, I want it before it sells out again. And honestly, man, why it's not worth $70 to me, I'm going to have this for the rest of my fucking life to look at on the shelf and have fun with and think about Daredevil in any kind of comic or animation or show or movie he's been in. I'm going to think about that and enjoy this for the rest of my life. So, fuck all the negative comments. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. I don't really care to do the debate thing about bootlegs. I don't mean to be negative or seem rude. It's just I've been down that road. If you want to hear my full opinion on bootleg knockoff figures, I actually have a video from about a year ago. It's got about 4,500 views. It's one of my higher viewed videos, and I got a lot of good feedback and, you know, a couple assholes here and there that don't know how to voice their opinion without doing it in a cordial, respectful way, you know. With that being said, y'all, I am going to take y'all through and give y'all a look at all these accessories that this figure is packed with. Show y'all not only the articulation, the accessories, but also just the sculpt and the paint on here, because honestly, the sculpt is gnarly and the paint is beautiful on this and very clean and tight, and I'm just very impressed with this figure. So let me quit yapping, let's get on into this review. I'm just getting into the accessories first off here. You can see we have 2 bendy wires, which comes in very handy and very cool. Adds a lot of posability to the Daredevil here. But you can see this one we have, it just has, oh, getting them tangled here. Jesus, what is going on? These things are hella tangled. Okay, there we go. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so you can see here, these plug right into the nunchucks, which I will show you in just a moment. Then we have like a little grapple hook right here on this version, or this strand. And then on this one, this version just has the 2 pieces that plug in, so you can have his like cable and stuff like that. Whereas when he uses his nightsticks, his nunchucks, his clubs. So then we have some alternate hands here, various forms, with some very nice paint apps, man. Very, very clean. Here, you know what? Let me grab my tweezers real quick. And there we go. Now we can get a really good look at all that nice sculpting and detail, man. But you can see the paint on here is super clean. There's no misses or bleeds or anything like that. There's even a little bit of weathering, and this is battle damaged, it says. So there is the right hand, here is the left hand. And again, just very, very clean paint, man, and really cool sculpt. Very impressed with the paint on this figure, man, and I will show you all the rest of it, of course, in just a moment. But once again, just very, very nice paint, dude. Super clean. Like I said, even a little bit of scratches and damage there. There's the other hand again, just super clean paint, as you can see. And honestly, these are just 2 smaller versions of C-grip hands, so I'm not even going to go and show you that. But here is the staff, his staff, so you can plug one of the nightsticks into this and use it as a staff or a bow staff. And then here is the alternate head. That is, here, I'm just going to hold it. But you can see the alternate head here. This is not what you're buying this for. It doesn't look great, but the eyes actually have like a very nice paint. Like the blue on the inside is very nice, and honestly the lips is good. It's just the flesh tone, it just looks dated. It looks like an older figure, you know. And honestly, the camera makes it look worse. Like seeing it in person, it's not great. It's not like some photoreal figure or anything like that, but the sculpt of the hair is actually decent. And the flesh tone it looks a lot better in person. You can even see like a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. It looks way better in person than it looks on the camera. When I'm looking on the camera, it looks way more plasticky, and in person it is not that. It still has a shine to it. Like if you wanted to use this for something else, you could hit it with some Mr. Super Clear or Matte Super Clear or something like that. Matte Clear Spray. But it would take that shine down, that sheen a little bit. And then getting on to Daredevil here, let me pull out his other clubs, billy clubs. And here are his 2 regular billy clubs that you can see. Those are the ends where the other accessories, the bendable wire plugs in, and that staff that he comes with. Just a gray plastic, nothing crazy, but it's definitely, you know, he's got to have his clubs. Look at this gnarly badass Daredevil, man. I freaking love this figure, dude. This is like there is things that could be better, and I will go ahead and touch on that. The alternate hands that he comes with, some of the pegs on the inside are not dremelled out or cleared out enough, so sometimes you might have a hard time. The hands might fall off kind of easily, but most of the hands, I will say, plug on pretty good. They interchange very easily, which I like. Also, all the accessories, the bendable wire and the staff, everything plugs into his clubs very, very nicely. So with that being said, man, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take a look at the sculpt and the paint first, and then we'll take a look at the articulation. So getting a close look here. Sorry for all that noise, y'all. You can see here we have some just very, very sharp, very nice sculpt in here, man. Classic red on red comic costume. Got the folds, nice musculature, obviously. Very clean hits of paint on here too. Even some more battle damage on the kneecaps here in the boots. There's even toe articulation. The pins are on the inside, not on the out. Give it a little cleaner look. And look at the buckle right here, man. That is just very, very nicely done. The buckle's on the back of the boots also. Just very tight, clean paint. Very impressed with the paint on this figure, to be honest with y'all. A little bit of silver on the inside of there, even more on the back of the belt here. His elbow pads. Now, the one thing about this, and then you got to see these like rivets and studs on the side. There's even a little bit of a wash on this figure. Like all over the entire thing, there's a nice wash to help give his muscles like some like depth and some shadows, you know. But this is a pretty buff. Now I know this is 7" for sure, but Daredevil is definitely more of like a Spider-Man, like an Olympic, like a swimmer build or something like that. But I do kind of like this swole look for Daredevil, to be honest with y'all. But just very, very clean paint overall, man. I'm very impressed with the sculpt on this. Like I said, the one thing that I can think of other than the hands not plugging in, like some of the hands have a little hard time and they kind of fall off a little easily. Not bad. For the most part, they plug in pretty good. I would like to see more hip range out of the hips, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Actually, we'll get to it now. Go ahead and start the articulation. So y'all can see how good the paint and the sculpt is on this figure. Like, it looks absolutely phenomenal. It's going to look great in the vanilla pose just there on your shelf, but you're probably wondering, can I use this Daredevil to pull off my favorite comic covers or like panels in the Daredevil comics or Spider-Man comics, whatever the case may be? So for the most part, I think you are going to be able to, and I'll post a little video towards the end of me messing around. I took a couple little videos of TikToks for a TikTok for different poses and stuff, so I'll post that towards the end of the review. But we do have some very nice articulation on this figure. Very deep cut hinges, double joints in the knees and the elbows, so you can get some really awesome articulation. But starting off here, we'll just start from the head down, go to the shoulders here, get almost a Y position here, depending on how you wanted to turn it. If you wanted to, you can get straight above his head too, very, very close to his traps, like just pretty much straight upright. Coming down, he's got a little bit of a butterfly joint in there. You're not going to get a lot of movement out of it, but it's nice that it's there nonetheless. There is bicep swivel, so you can see the bicep turning right here. Again, I told you about these double jointed elbows. They are pinless. You can get below 90 on each elbow, which is very, very nice. And depending on how you plug this up in, you see the pegs on the inside plug in pretty well for the most part, but depending on how you turn the hand, you can have a horizontal hinge or a vertical, depending on how you plug it in and stuff. So like right now, the way I'm going to do it, this will make it like a horizontal or a vertical hinge, you know. And then you can turn it and have a horizontal as well, so it's really up to you. So then getting on down here, there's a ball joint here at the waist and at the upper part of the diaphragm. So you're going to get a lot of side-to-side tilt. You can practically do like really good oblique workout right here. But he has a lot of lateral side-to-side motion, and he's got swivel at both the top portion of his diaphragm and at his waist. So something that Marvel Legends could learn about from this figure is implementing the ball joint at the waist for Spider-Man figures. That would add so much more posability instead of that weird single disc ab crunch hinge that they have going on for most of their Spider-Man figures. But with this ball joint, you can get them to look straight forward over and even tilt back quite a bit. So there's a lot of range of motion in here. You can just see how far side to side he goes. It just adds so much posability to dynamic acrobatic characters like Daredevil and Spider-Man. So, and then as far as the head goes, he can look up a pretty fair amount. He can also tuck his chin against his neck very nicely. There's some nice side of tilt as well. So very nice ball joint here. There is a ball joint at the base of the skull, and the neck has a little bit of, I felt like the neck was moving a little bit earlier, but no, I'm sorry, the neck is fixed. I'm messing with it now. So it's just a ball joint here at the base of the skull. You can see up in there, but that's very, very nice, man. I really like this figure. So getting down to the hips here, this is what I was telling y'all about just a moment ago. They could have done, like, maybe implemented some kind of drop-down hip technology, like how they do on some of the Spider-Man figures. But it's like some figures don't have a drop-down. This one does not. It's just a fixed dumbbell joint. And there's no thigh cut, which is nice because it doesn't break up the sculpt. But I don't like it when they do it in the Black Series and Marvel Legends, because I like thigh swivel. Thigh swivel is a natural human movement, unless they can do it like this figure here. So you can see we get a little bit of tilt on the inside, and then look how far this goes out. Like, the way that they implemented the sculpt with this dumbbell joint on the inside of here is very nice. So you can get that thigh swivel still without having to get the breakup of the sculpt. But a lot of the times in the Black Series, they don't get that. They have very tight hips when they don't do the thigh cut, so you can't really get any. Like a Black Series, it might go like this, and then that's all you're going to get. Some of them are different, like Darth Malgus, and there's a couple figures that have some decent thigh swivel, but if they could keep implementing it like this, that's pretty nice, because It doesn't break up the sculpt. I don't mind it on my figures, but that's a plus for sure if you want it to look more seamless and stuff. Getting down to the knees, pinless double joints, so you can get that calf to touch that hamstring no problem, way below 90 degrees. Getting down to the feet, they can go down a little bit, pretty fair amount. They also come up a little bit. And then, like I told you, they have the pin on the insides here, so you can get some toe articulation too. And then there's a forward-facing pin for some rocking side-to-side tilt or motion, whatever you like to call it. So you can see here, man, this Daredevil is very well articulated, and I really do feel like you can pull off some cool poses. And like I said, towards the end of the review, I'll post a little quick video of some poses that I put them in, but I'm very pleased with this figure, man. I know I overpaid for it, but guess what? I don't fucking care. I wanted it that bad to have some representation of my collection, and it makes me happy. I have had such a great time posing it, and I'm going to continue to have a great time posing it as long as it's on my shelf and in my collection room. So I'm just having such a blast with this, man. Daredevil has quickly started to rise. As I get older, I've always liked Spider-Man and Daredevil and such, but when I was younger, I was like Hulk, Thor, and stuff like that. Wolverine, I still love Wolverine, but as I get older, I'm really starting to get more of a connection to characters like Spider-Man and Daredevil. I don't know what it is, man, but those characters just kind of captivate me, you know, and especially since I've been trying to catch up on the Daredevil movie, or I'm sorry, the show that started on Netflix, and then they started putting it on Disney Plus. I'm infatuated with it, man. But just get some really, really sweet freaking poses here, man, you know, like, you know, not like he's about to fucking knock Kingpin the fuck out. Oh, and so see, there's one example, like I was just telling you earlier. Some of the pegs, I'm trying to get a little close in here. So some of the pegs are not, the pegs are good on the figure, but some of the alt hands, like it's not dremeled deep down inside enough, so it doesn't want to stay on very good for the most part. Which you could do if you wanted to. You shouldn't have to, obviously. FlefToys should work on that. But if you wanted to take like a little bit of sticky tack or black tack or blue tack and just put a little tiny dab right there, or dot, like a little tiny little ball, that would probably help the hand stay on quite a bit better. But then you see it goes right back on and it stays, you know. It's just a little finicky is all. But just look at this pose right here, man. Took me like not even 5 seconds to get him in this. It just looks so good, dude. But with that being said, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this review. That is going to wrap it up for me. I've been very excited. I've been eyeing this figure for quite some time and just did not want to pull the trigger. But I don't mind buying bootlegs, man. You know, you definitely got to be careful and read what you're buying. It's like I said, if you want to know more about my opinion on bootlegs, you can check out that video. I have it further down, like from about a year ago on my channel. I'm not going to do it all here, but I don't know, man. I just feel like this is really good representation for Daredevil. Even though it's 7-inch and it's not going to scale with Marvel Legends very well, I'm just overall super, super happy and elated to have it, man. But like I said, with that being said, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please hit that motherfucking like button if you did. I greatly appreciate it. Helps me just continue to grow my channel and get myself in the algorithm, and helps me spread to other people and try to get them to buy some cool shit, empty their wallet, and put some cool shit on their shelf. So with that being said, everybody, I'm going to wrap it up here. Shout out to all my Clan Stone members. I appreciate each one of you very, very much. Y'all help me keep doing what I'm doing, man. And I try to give it back and put it back into the channel, for whether it's giveaways or merch or stickers. I always try to put it back into the channel. So shout out to all my Clan Stone members. Each one of you are the shit. I appreciate y'all very, very much. And yeah, like I said, hit that like button. I hope you enjoy this review. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.